Hi, Back to Basics. It's Dana, Ms. Dangerous, and I'm your vlogger for today. And this week we are talking about Soul Week, and we're talking about inside and outside pressures that affect our weight loss journey. So there's kind of some groupings of questions. There's several. These are not easy questions, and I've really had to think a little bit about them, and I don't even know that I've formulated really effective thoughts around them. And it's late in the day, so apologize if the words don't come out right. So the kind of first grouping of questions are about kind of external pressures on us. The first is, does peer pressure or societal or family pressures have any influence in your weight loss surgery journey? So societal pressures, let's talk about that. Sure, societal pressures had a lot of influence. Society says we're supposed to be thin and beautiful as women. Growing up, I was always heavy. I felt a lot of pressure. I felt a lot of inadequacy because I wasn't thin and beautiful. You look at pictures and the pictures are never, and I know my rational brain can tell me the pictures are touched up and those people don't really look like that, etc. But it's something that I always wanted. I wanted to be thin. I wanted to be a movie star or a singing star. I used to sing, and if I honestly had looked different, I would have probably really pursued my passion for music, my love of music when I was younger. But I didn't do that because I knew I didn't fit the bill. And I didn't want feast or famine, because even when you have the looks and the talent and everything, the music industry is a fickle thing, So peer pressure, societal pressure, sure. Peer pressure, I feel like, again, I had a lot of peer pressure growing up. I have really bad memories of how cruel kids can be, especially like late elementary school, junior high, even some high school. So high school, at least I found a little niche where I fit in. I also feel like, in the work world, at least you begin to establish credibility, and periodically I would run into a peer who would treat me a certain way and it would piss me off. But what happened is I got a thicker skin as I got older. I also became more comfortable in my own competencies outside my looks. And I probably, even growing up, developed some coping mechanisms as far as overcompensating. So while I wasn't the thin one, the pretty one, I, was the really smart one, or the one who would always say, yes, I can do this, I can get the job done, and, made sure that, let me tell you that it was a wonderful project or whatever, that I produced the results. I chose to try to be a star at work over my career, and I'm pretty driven in a lot of ways, pretty type A. So I think what happened is that kind of peer pressure, society pressure, as I learned to cope with it, I just found other ways to deal with it so I could put the weight on the back burner. As far as my weight loss surgery journey, peer pressure and societal pressure really had little to no effect. I told very few people I was going to have surgery. I told just the few closest friends. I told my husband. I didn't even tell most of my family members. I didn't tell my parents, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So, I didn't say what I was going to do. People watch me, changed my behaviors. I've become more open now that I'm more of have gone down the road, so I'll tell people. I do sometimes wonder if some people are waiting for me to fail, and thinking to themselves. But I did not have people in my life who didn't support this, and part of that is if even if they had any kind of I had reaction, and they knew better enough to shut up because I'm a pretty strong personality and I'm not afraid to speak my mind. Family pressure. My husband did not necessarily want me to have surgery at first, but he said, "I'll support you in what you want to do. Ultimately, it's your choice, it's your body. I wouldn't cut myself to lose weight, but I'll support you." And he has. And as time has gone on, I think he has really become proud of me and watching me. But now he really is at the point where he is like, "Stop losing weight. I thought you weren't, I don't want you to get too skinny. I don't want you to lose any more weight." I don't really tell him how much I weigh anymore. When I hit the 150s, he was like, "I think you're stopping." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna stop." And then when I got in the 140s, and he was like, "I thought you weren't gonna lose any more weight." I was like, "I'm not trying." So his pressure right now is more about stop, where you're at. No, you should know my husband is a big guy. He is overweight, probably classifies as obese. So he has his own weight issues. So I I don't know. Part of that me worrying about getting too skinny may be his own inadequacies or feeling inadequate because of his weight. Part of it is just he likes curvier women or whatever. So I don't know. So the real family pressure I feel is more related to him. Our kids are grown. They give me no pressure. My kids have said they're very proud of me. My daughter, I have a stepson, and then a birth daughter. My daughter has like, "You're a rock star, Mom. I can't believe that you are doing the things that you're doing, and I'm so proud of you." That's really cool, and it's great to have your kids say that. So I am comfortable with kind of the external influences. The interesting peer pressure I do feel is actually, I don't know if it's peer pressure or if it's just a kind of wanting and a belonging. I've always wanted to be popular. I've always wanted to say, oh, have a lot of friends. I've never had lots of friends. I have a few close friends. And I see, I've made some friends in the community, but I see more things going on. And I sometimes like, well, I want to be part of that. And I want to be part of that. And, I want to know everybody and get in and things like that. And I guess it's a pressure that I put on myself, but it's almost like maybe even a jealousy sometimes where I feel like I really want to be more active in the community and do this or have more friends or people like me, and so I want people to like me, and there's that. I think it's a desire in my heart that I've had from growing up a long time ago, is I wanted to be one of the popular group. And I do feel that way sometimes in this community. I'd like to be one of the popular people. So, and it's like, what value does that really add? I don't know. It's almost a vain thing in my what I want, the desire. So that kind of leads to the next set of questions, which is, are you who you want to be? If yes, please share why. If almost, no, etc. Am I who I want to be? Some days I don't know who I want to be. And that means personally and professionally and socially. So I just said, oh, I want to be popular. I would have loved to have been a music person or famous person, I think. And then I look at some of the things that they deal with and I say, no, I don't want to. So then I begin to say, well, why do you want that stuff? Well, I want it because I like that idea of the glamour, I guess. I like the idea of being recognized and being the center of attention. And when I really get to that level, I go, that's not really a trait that I like, but it's a trait that I have. I like being the center of attention. I like being kind of in the spotlight. And part of me says that doesn't feel that's nothing wrong with that, and part of me says that's vanity. So I struggle with this. Am I who I want to be? Am I who I want to be as far as being a kind person? Yes, I think I am. Am I who I want to be as far as the kind of wife and mother? Some days I'm better than others, just like a regular person. I feel like I try to be in trying to live more and more an authentic life, but sometimes I look at myself and I feel like my actions and my words don't match. Does that make me feel good? No. Is that different from anybody else? No, I don't think so. I think that we all have these issues. So this is a really hard question, because even if I said I am who I want to be, what does that leave for the future? So, what I really want to be is someone who is ever growing, ever changing, ever working towards becoming better. And do I spend every possible day trying to achieve that? No, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm lazy and I would rather just veg out. Do I like that I want to veg out trait? Not necessarily. So, but I can list many, many traits about myself that I do like and that I'm proud of. So I don't know. I feel really strange about this question and saying, are you who you want to be? It depends sometimes on the day, the moment, the hour, and the issue. On some issues, I'm exactly who I want to be. In other issues, I'm not at all who I want to be. And in some issues, for some issues, I don't know who I want to be. So, golly gee, messed up craziness, I think, in a way. So, I'm just going to say that I've tried to be honest with this, which is what we were asked to do. Here are some closing words, and this is written, but I think it makes a big statement. This community is filled with all different kinds of people in all different phases of their journey. Yeah, it really is, and that's the wonderful power of diversity of this place. It's okay not to be okay in certain phases of your journey. It's okay to be seeking and to stop and say, I don't know what the blank is going on right now. I don't know what this means for me, and figuring out. We are all works in progress. Transformation isn't easy, but basically, we if we work on ourselves, and that means our physical self and our mental selves, then hopefully we do evolve and become better and better and better over time. That doesn't mean every day you're always better, because some days you take a step back. But if you start out and you move forward and you're getting somewhat to, evolve as a person, then I think you're on the right path. Don't know if this was helpful. Hard questions, but I hope you have a wonderful day. Think about this for yourself. Are you looking at how does peer pressure, society, or family pressure affect you? How do your own internal pressures affect you? And where do you want to go? So that's it. Hope Back to Basics, you're enjoying the channel. Leave us comments, and if you have ideas for topics, let us know. Love you. Bye-bye.